That's amazing. So yes, dolphins are amazing animals. A round of applause. Let's welcome the players. Hello, dolphins. Hello, trainers. Here we go. I know these particular dolphins, they're known as Pacific white-sided dolphins. And while researchers, they know quite a bit about dolphins in general, this particular species, there's still quite a few questions. And part of the reason is it's quite rare to find this particular species in a facility to begin with. More commonly seen, more commonly known as a bottlenose dolphin. But no, this is not a bottlenose. They're much more torpedo-shaped, and they have that unique coloration along the sides, and that's of course where you get the name Pacific white-sided dolphin. That makes sense. And in terms of all species of dolphins put together, they're considered to be one of the most acrobatic. I encourage you to try and figure out, well, why exactly is that? Because it should be fairly obvious. But you might be thinking, well, yes, they're acrobatic. These are trained animals. They're trained to be acrobats. And well, yes, we do train these behaviors, but a lot of the behaviors are natural behaviors that you can see if you're lucky enough, even off the port side bow of BC ferries every now and again. Because these animals are neighbors of ours. We find them right here in the Pacific Northwest. They're found northern Mexico up through our part of the world, and then all the way over to Japan. So kind of the North Pacific Ocean, that's the ocean they call home. And yeah, we are very fortunate to have these animals visit us up and down our coastline. Even a few weeks ago, there was a group sighted underneath the Lions Gate. We were jogging around Stanley Park at noon. There were dolphins out there. However, the animals that we have here, the dolphins that swim the open ocean, even a few of the species that swim the river systems of the world, they all face quite a few dangers. And the animals that we have here, they are no exception to that. But to tell us a little bit more about the personal stories of a couple of the animals that we have here, ladies and gentlemen, with the headset, the lovely Christy.
Thanks, Alex. All three of our dolphins are what we refer to as rescue and rehabilitated animals. They were all found and tangled in fishing nets off the coast of Japan and then brought to a rehabilitation facility where they were deemed non-releasable. Luckily, we've been able to provide them with a permanent home here at the Wild Coast. Now, working with me today is Spinnaker and Helen. They've both been with us for several years, and we've been able to build and maintain a very strong relationship with them in order to provide them with the best possible care through training and regular checkups. Everything that we learn through their healthcare is used by veterinarians and researchers to gain a better understanding of these mysterious animals. In fact, every day that we spend with them reveals more information about their species as well as their individual personalities, which, believe it or not, are just as different as you and I. Isn't that right, you guys? Yes. But most of all, Spinnaker, Helen, and Hannah remind us every day that nets can pose a serious threat to dolphins all around the world.
Thank you, Christy. So yes, together with the dolphins, we work with different research groups that come in that have different research proposals, and we try and figure out, well, how can we help these remarkable neighbors of ours? And to do that, you can work off things that we already know, and we know a few things. We know these animals travel together in groups, sometimes small groups, maybe 2 or 3 individuals. And yes, there are some relatively solitary dolphins and porpoises out there. No, these guys are very social. And some of the groups can reach upwards of 2,000 to 3,000. And if you're going to work with that many dolphins, well, you need a boat. And you need a fast boat. Because these animals, they can move at about 35 kilometers an hour. To give you a frame of reference, inside a car in Stanley Park, you're only supposed to go 30. This is probably one of the few places worldwide you could be passed by a dolphin as you're driving. It would look ridiculous. Could happen. This speed, of course, is very handy for catching up with their dinner. And, well, if you are dinner to a dolphin, chances are you are a fish of some sort. And imagine, if you will, that you are a Pacific white-sided dolphin off our coast, and you are looking for your catch of the day. There's some pretty fast-moving fish out there. We've got some, well, salmon, they can move pretty fast, and then some slow ones, maybe like the halibut. But imagine, yes, you are a Pacific white-sided dolphin looking for fish, and maybe you're near the Fraser River, and it's really murky. Or perhaps you're near, well, you're deep and it's dark. How do you know what you're looking for? Well, these animals do have really good eyesight, and then you can see they're very good at watching their trainers. Very nicely done. But if they can't see, they also have the ability to use sound to navigate. And it's known as echolocation. And if you come from the Beluga show, we usually talk a little bit about echolocation there as well.